kid. We got an 8-year-old. She just hit 8 years old.
Right.
How did that kid happen? Let's go through the mechanics of how that kid happened.
I think everybody already knows this story.
Aside from the, no, they don't know about. Actually, in the last podcast, I did talk about how the kid, me and Moshe were talking about how you and I, not me and Moshe, you and I rarely make love. We've made love maybe 2% of the time out of our entire relationship.
A frequent occurrence.
98% of the time, this is hardcore fucking. Even my child was born from fucking, and that was like a what do they call that? A goodbye fuck? No, a fuck off fuck. There's a name for it. The fuck.
Breakup sex?
Yeah, breakup sex.
Yes. He broke up with me.
Yes.
We boned. I got pregnant.
Can you believe anybody who's ever seen a picture of us? Can you believe me breaking up with her?
I mean, the balls on the man. It's just fucking incredible.
Why? Why was that such a contentious period in our relationship? And it's so weird because so many things have happened since then. We have a really wonderful life, but every once in a while you will still harken back to that period and be like, you were such a dick.
Total dick.
Why? What was so dickish about it? We had just met. We fucked. We enjoyed one another.
Right.
There was this moment in time where I was on the set of Dogma, and you were talking about moving out to New York with Trish, and that would have put you close to me, and I was all for that. I was like, that's awesome. I have a girlfriend who lives in the city.
But I ended up moving into your apartment.
Well, let's not jump the gun. Learn how to tell a story, love.
Trish, I don't know that we need to.
Trish, we should. Trish, this is how you fill an hour, trust me. Trish, at the last minute is like, I'm not going to move to New York. Schwalbach calls me. I'm in my trailer on the Dogma set. And she's like, so Trish, my friend is, I don't even know her as Trish. She's like, my friend's not moving to New York. And, I was like, oh, bummer. Because there went my, cosmopolitan New York girlfriend and shit. It would be like dating that girl, and anybody who remembers that show.
I don't know that
You don't know, and trust me, most of the people listening to this won't know about that girl. But thankfully, you were willing to make the trip east. Which is weird because you worked for USA Today. You had an excellent job, a job that I found really, not that the job was attractive, but I couldn't believe when you interviewed me that there was a broad working for USA Today who was my age. I was more impressed with what you had accomplished than what I had accomplished. And you were willing to leave that job and move east without a plan. It's not like I'm going to go work at USA Today in the East Coast office because they're based in Virginia, so it wasn't like they had a New York office. You were just quitting your job, coming east. You were presumably going to find a job. I must be the championship fuck of the century in order for this to pan out.
You keep telling yourself that.
What is it?
Yes,
what makes you?
What
would make somebody do that? Because you were. I'll be honest. You were a fantastic lay. It never would have made me leave New Jersey initially.
I know. I just fell in love with you.
Is that what it was?
Really.
But in a world where we didn't, in a
span of like a month.
In a world where we didn't make love, it's not like we just started this relationship and we were making love and shit like you see in a.
I know, I'm a strange girl. What can I tell you?
It was from fucking, and as I would learn later in life,
it was more than that for me.
What was it? What was it?
Just you.
Yeah, I know, but I enjoyed you too, and I really dug you, and we got along and shit like that. But you can get along with the mailman doesn't mean you move for the mailman.
Right.
Sex is as we've always said, sex is a very big component to any relationship, particularly ours.
Right.
As I would learn later on, it's not even like you need me to come. A stiff breeze or a wall will do it. I just need to be present, and since we're bonded in marriage, thankfully you're loyal, presumably, and so I'm the choice, the only choice.
You don't have to add presumably in there.
I like to hedge my bets just in case.
Little
what if I'm wrong? I don't want to be on record being like, she never cheats, and then 2 weeks from now.
I will go on record and say I have never cheated on you, and I never will.
That's going to come in handy when we're in court one day.
How can you doubt me?
I don't know.
8 years in.
Because nobody knows anybody.
Actually, it's like 10 years now.
It's
8 years of marriage.
Pretty much almost 10 years into the relationship. Because nobody knows anybody. You never know what people are capable of.
We are together 99.9% of the
Okay,
time.
but it's that 0.1% where you're like, I gotta go to yoga, or I'm gonna go hike Runyon, where it could be code for, I'm going to go to the bathroom at the Virgin Mega Center and solicit sex from strangers.
What the fuck? Am I that girl?
Okay, if it's not that, let's say it's like, there's a dude I met on Runyon, I'm going to go over his house, we're going to have some fucking cool day sex and leave. That happens in movies all the time. And as we know, all my information comes from movies and television shows.
Done.
Let's talk about that. I'm not even sure you're a fan of my films, to be honest with you. I think ultimately you're a bigger fan of, say, Wes Anderson.
Fishing for fucking compliments.
I don't think you are, though. I think you tolerate them, and I think they're okay. But number one, you tend to lean more toward sci-fi, But the comedic stuff, I think Frasier's more your taste. You know, Lord knows we've watched enough Frasier, and you seem really...
Oh, I don't stand alone.
I've said we, but
Okay.
you seem to, like, chuckle at that more than you chuckle at my stuff. Like, the weird shit that makes you laugh in my shit is, like, when people get hurt, real slapsticky humor, or Jeff Anderson going, like, get off of me, you nut, you know, in Clerks 2. And the botanage, the wordplay, all that stuff, just, you know, you're like, yeah, it's nice, Kevin, I guess that's what you do.
All right. I love your movies, as I have
I'm not
said
looking
many
for you to
times,
come down on
honey.
record, but be honest, it's not.
But I am more a fan of you as a man than I am of any filmmaker. I mean, you're my husband. Would you really want to have married a fangirl?
I think.
Like, who's Googling you and fucking reading things about...
Well,
like,
that would have, to me, that would eventually slow down, like, because she wouldn't need to Google me anymore, because I'd be like, hey,
no,
guess
you're
what? I was
still
born
like,
on August
did you
2nd.
read this? And I'm like, no, just sum it up for me. And you're like, I can't believe you didn't read it. And I am
True,
duly
man.
impressed when you are mentioned in publications like Time and Newsweek, the shit that I actually read, and I'm like, oh my God, look. But I can't be...
Never read a blog of mine.
Never.
Never listened to
read
a
blog,
SModcast.
And I've never listened
Never
to a
listened to a
SModcast.
commentary track.
But I think that
Barely
that's a
stays
really
for a Q&A. If I'm doing a Q&A, she's like, where's the bar? And she's out.
Fucking yes. All right? I've been there for most of the stories
Yeah.
that, you know... Do I really want to hear about the first time that you and I had sex again?
To be fair,
Not
I haven't
really.
told that story. Once it's
Okay,
on
fine.
wax, like it's on a DVD,
Okay,
I don't
fine.
tell that story
But,
anymore.
You know, I think that it's a very...
But in England, were you in England when I talked about the dogs fucking? It was a great story.
Yeah, well, again, I was there when it happened, so, you know...
But
I
don't you want to
know
hear
that
my fractured take on
Miss
it?
Darling, of course I want to hear your fractured take on it. But, as I'm trying to say, I think it's a very healthy thing that I mean, not a star fucker.
Right.
I'm not attracted to you because you make really funny movies, and that impresses me. Wouldn't you rather be, have a wife who's impressed that you are a wonderful husband and a fantastic father and...
Not really, because I don't think I'm very good at either of those two things.
No,
Like, I think I'm an okay father. I do think I'm a good husband, although there's always room for improvement. But I do think I'm a better filmmaker than I am either of those two things. I think. Maybe not. Maybe I should give husband the edge just because you're staring at me, like that. But I mean, I don't know. It just strikes me as odd.